What is up, everybody? Welcome to You Guys Made Me Ink, the numero uno podcast of finding Nemos on the internet.
You just totally fucked a half of our audience, which is like 2 people, because they're like, man, I don't understand any Spanglish.
Any Spanglish?
And you just fucked them. Yeah, you killed them.
Okay.
This podcast is over.
I don't know how loud I am right now, so you might have to do some post-editing, because it doesn't seem like my volumes are too great.
Yeah, I generally have to do that.
Okay. Good. It really looks kind of weird.
For myself and you.
Let me do something real quick. Where's the gain?
This is just perfect podcast.
People
This is the greatest cast of all time.
That was loud. Okay.
This is some behind the music shit. Much music.
Okay, I think we're good now. Okay.
Yeah, you all good? You ready for this podcast?
I'm uber duper ready for this podcast.
All right. So first topic I want to get into, and I'm gonna just come out of the fucking gate with this bitch, cause it's crazy. Okay? Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Are you sure? I don't think you are.
Then I'm not.
Well, crap. You better get ready, cause it's about to happen.
Okay.
So I want to talk about behavior in the workplace.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is exciting.
Like sexual harassment?
Not necessarily sexual harassment. I want to talk about specifically unprofessional behavior in the workplace. I'm not gonna. Sexual harassment, I think, is on its own level. Like, sexual harassment is fucked up. Unprofessional behavior can just be like, oh,
someone being an ass.
Yeah, just somebody being an ass, like just being unprofessional altogether. Just making a joke that somebody didn't like or something like that, kind of a thing. It's as long as it's not like bigoted or sexist or anything like that. It's just a normal ass joke. I mean,
okay.
Otherwise, that's something different. But I want to talk about if you watched the Philly D show for I think yesterday, he talked about a story about how during PAX East there was this woman. She was. And note, I'm like, this is like Cliff Notes shit right here. I'm not reading an article verbatim or anything, but she was a games journalist playing essentially a demo of a game, and the guy who was supposed to be demoing it for her, the dev buddy, killed her and then teabagged her. And this is like a whole thing about being unprofessional. And it turns out he thought she was like his dev buddy, and he thought she was this other person, and he was like making a joke on his friend, and he killed his friend and teabagged his friend. It's like, oh man, that's pretty funny. I mean, who hasn't done that in a video game? Just teabagged your friend. That's a totally normal thing to do.
Now,
and everyone's freaking out about it.
Do we know what the game was?
I don't think so. I mean, like I said, this is Cliff Notes. I don't 100% know exactly what happened, but the overall situation is people are freaking out about teabagging, essentially. It's unprofessional behavior in the workplace. They're like, wow, maybe you shouldn't do this during like a demo with like a games professional.
Wow.
And I'm like,
maybe you shouldn't play video games.
Why does everything have to be so professional? Like, I understand in certain situations, but overall, I feel like being a little loosey-goosey, you know what I mean? It just makes things flow better. Everyone just feels like they're part of the team. Nobody gets left out. I mean, being professional in the workplace, I think, only is applicable during certain times. Other times, it's just like... Everyone likes to talk about how, like, their workplace is a family. Everybody's part of the family. But you're like, yeah, around my family, I'm not just, like, a prissy little piece of shit. I'm not just this completely, like, essentially normal person. I'm not a normal person around my family. I'm exactly who I am. Like, I don't try to pretend to be professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's so weird. Like, professionalism in the workplace is so odd to me. How do you feel about it? Let's get your opinions.
Well, I think in this particular scenario, I don't want to say anyone was in the wrong, because one, you're demoing a video game. You know, something.
Yeah, it's kind of part of gaming culture to teabag others.
I thought so, and I've been doing it for a long time. So, but as this being like in the workplace. It doesn't seem like it was necessarily in the workplace. It seems like it was more of like It
was at PAX East.
Yeah, but you work at a company and I work at a company. Those companies are in the same industry, but not like you don't see these people every day. You see them at, conventions. So I think right there it could have been a little unprofessional because he was making his company look a little unprofessional in front of all these other people that are in the same industry. But like if I went to work tomorrow, or let's say theoretically, actually this has probably happened, I work with a whole bunch of guys, and a couple of us would play like video games together, and we used to play some Call of Duty together. Now I would definitely teabag him if we were not on the same team, and I'd go into work the next day and he'd be like, man, you got me, But
it'd be like a completely normal thing.
Yeah, but I think in this scenario, it wasn't necessarily him teabagging, like you were saying, he meant to teabag his buddy. It was him teabagging someone that, while in the same industry, not the same, like, working place.
Yeah, one, not the same person. Two, not really part of his, like, occupation. I mean, it is, obviously, but it's its own thing, like, completely separate.
Yeah. So I think that, one, he probably shouldn't have done it, but I remember listening to this on the Philly D show. It didn't seem like she was super outraged about it. It seemed like she was like, oh, well, that wasn't super awesome. But
he talks about how people were outraged for her.
Yeah, and
they like freaked out over
that's
it.
the
and she
most
was like,
annoying thing, in my opinion, is when people that were not affected by this certain scenario are more offended than the person that was affected. Now, she did come out and she said something like, yeah, that would have been cool if it didn't happen, but it happened, and it wasn't very professional, but it happened. And
yeah,
then,
she was annoyed that he was being unprofessional, not that, like, he put his fucking metaphorical balls on her metaphorical person's face.
Yeah, and I think that the headline that Philip DeFranco, like, read might have been the most, like, not misinformed, because it's technically what happened, but the headline he showed was something like game developer teabagged
team kills and teabags teammate or something like that, or teabags and it was team kills and teabags
a female or something. It
something weird like that.
Definitely pointed out that she was a female. It's like, yeah, she was technically a female, but that's supposed to make it totally worse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can honestly say, being like a man who plays video games, I don't think I'll ever fully understand like how women feel while playing video games, but from the consensus, essentially it sucks ass because they get like harassed on a daily basis.
Yeah, and
so I understand why
sucks.
that could have added to it, but I don't think it should have been necessarily part of that situation.
I think that people, and this is just the royal people, not everybody, people just want to be mad. They just want to be mad.
Yeah, it's all about outrage culture now, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to be mad about something.
And it's like, dude, take a chill pill. He was teabagging in a video game. I don't know, because I didn't look into this. I don't know what game it was, but I'm assuming if it was an online game, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Like when we were playing Destiny, and here's my thing. When we were playing Destiny 2, we would do the trials of whatever,
Osiris.
Yeah, sure.
The 9.
Whatever. And we would go in and we'd be just doing our battle, and we would be up like maybe like 2-0 or 3-0 or whatever. I don't remember how it was counted, but we would be up and we would be like, okay guys, time to activate hard mode. And what hard mode is next time you kill someone, you teabag them, because if for some reason it just makes you feel like they're going to come back way harder than they did before. It
just sets people off.
Yeah.
People get pissed.
And I can see why, but in my opinion, it's funny. If I get teabagged, I'm like, oh man, that guy got me.
Yeah, it's like disrespectful, but you're also just like, oh, you little piece of shit.
Yeah, and that's like, oh, I'm gonna go get them. But the timing and the place was not good at all. But I think that the people that are outraged for her need to take a chill pill, because if she was really that mad about it, she wouldn't have just tweeted about it. She would have, like, told someone, like...
From what I understand, like, action is being taken behind closed doors between, like, two parties, essentially. Probably the company that she works for and the company that he does.
Yeah.
Because overall, yes, it was unprofessional. And I know that in the beginning of this, I was an advocate for unprofessional behavior. But yes, you are right. They aren't necessarily, like, part of the same company. So it's not exactly the same as if I went to work and messed with one of my coworkers because we work together every day. We're friends. We are like acquaintances.
Yeah.
It's like essentially like if I work for a gas station going into another gas station, like calling a guy a dick and be like, "What? It's a fucking joke, dude."
Or not necessarily going into someone else's place of work, but you guys going to the famous gas station expo that they have every year, and then you...
Yeah, it's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, you pulling a prank on him or something. That was supposed to be on one of your buddies. It's
pretty unprofessional.
It's supposed to be on one of your buddies, but he happened to walk through the door when you're shooting the watermelon out of the watermelon cannon. You know?
It's like that consistent storyline, that through line between all like chill, like Boy Meets World and Malcolm in the Middle is when they try to play a prank on somebody, but it ends up like fucking their mom or something.
Yeah.
It like drops a giant bag of sludge, like your mom just got slimed.
Yeah.
Like, ah, crap.
And I think that, and it's totally different. Like, here's a scenario. When I go to work every day, I know that I'm going to work with the same, like, 7 guys. We work together all the time. And if we ever hire a new person, everyone kind of knows to, like, ease them in a little bit. Ease them in before you be a total asshole and have fun with them. Because...
What? You don't have an immediate hazing ritual?
No, because...
You don't, right when they open the door, jump at them with no pants on and put your nuts right on their eyes?
Definitely not, because, one, we don't know how they're going to respond.
Your workplace is way weirder than that.
We don't know how they're going to respond. 2, we don't really know them, so that kind of feeds into we don't know how they're going to respond. And, if I did something funny to, like... And they do pranks all the time on each other. I don't really do it, because it's like, I don't really care. But when they do it, it's like they know that, oh, I'm going to get you next. They know each other. We've been working together for years, But when we get a new person, we kind of take it slow. Don't prank them too much. Don't really do anything to them because we don't really know them until you kind of like, till they just, get used to us. And we can slowly prank them.
Yeah, I think we can both agree the most, like, I guess, annoying part of their situation was that people were getting angry, like, on their behalf. So that kind of leads us into the next topic I wanted to talk about.
And wait,
is...
I want to say this one thing. Now,
okay, go ahead.
She did not say the name of the guy or the company, she's being very professional about it. Now, if he went on Twitter or something and said, or made a YouTube video and it got a little push and he said, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, it was me that did it. I didn't realize it was her. I wouldn't have done it if it was her. I thought it was my buddy Rick," and have Rick there be like, "Oh yeah, that would have been so funny," or something like that. But that's my fault. It was very unprofessional. Just him apologizing. I think that should be the end of that. But people would want his job after that and stuff. So it's like, it's
everyone's going after careers these days.
And it's like
they're like ruin their life essentially.
Like Colin Moriarty.
Yeah, everybody like trying to ruin people's lives over a joke or something. There are certain situations where it definitely needs to happen.
Like
let's
sexual
be real.
assault,
in the past
yes,
year,
but when someone makes a stupid joke or does a stupid little prank on someone, like, come on, guys, let's not go for their career. Maybe they can, get in trouble at their work or something. But my goodness, guys, let's stop trying to destroy people's livelihood here.
Yeah, some of it's just outrageous.
Okay, so what was this next thing you wanted to talk about?
This next thing I want to talk about is essentially, like, I guess, not necessarily just content creators, but anybody with an audience. So I guess that's mostly content creators, essentially.
Well, we're content creators, and we got about, 2 audience members, so...
Exactly, yeah. We got a fucking audience, bro.
Yeah.
One of them is me and the other one is Raisin Trash, so whatever. Our content creators are people who have audiences, so that's like musicians, YouTubers, TV stars, anybody. Are they responsible for their audience? So what their audience does are they responsible for it? Because a lot of people I've seen in a lot of different stories and everything where they talk about like, oh, YouTubers punching down and really like attacking smaller YouTubers, but on occasion it is not the YouTuber who does it. It is actually their audience.
Yeah, like there's a thing in Twitch that's going on right now that like when and I've seen Ninja do it, when he stops playing, for the night, he's going to bed, he will do something called a raid, and he will say, okay guys, let's go raid this guy. He's got about 3,000 people, or he's got like 2,000 people watching him. You guys just go watch him, tell him I sent you, give him some love. Kind of like that, but the opposite. Like,
yeah, it's essentially people coming down and essentially raiding, but like the standard edition of that term, like fucking pillaging people's communities. Yeah, they just show up to these smaller communities and just wreck house. Like millions of people show up to just be like, fuck you, dude, you're a piece of shit. Do you feel that these content creators, anybody who has this audience, do you think they're responsible for what their audience does? Or is it only in specific circumstances? So if they told their audience to go do it, or is it just their fault altogether because they're the ones who brought these people together?
I would say that the only time it is 100% their fault if they say, hey, this guy's being an ass. Like, you remember a few years ago, I don't know if you remember this, but there was just this, like, maybe 60-year-old dude. And all he did was just streamed himself playing RuneScape. He really liked RuneScape.
Oh yeah, when he was falsely accused.
Yeah, and he was like falsely accused of
molestation.
Molestation. And I think it was by Keemstar or someone, someone with a nice following.
I'm actually 100% sure. Yeah, I think it was Keemstar.
Yeah.
If I remember, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, and it's like, and he didn't necessarily I guess he did technically send him after him, but in that scenario, it is 100% Keemstar's fault. But if I don't even know what I was trying to say, because it was a good point, but the only thing that these people, I would say, not necessarily are liable for, like the content creator, the only thing they can really do if their community is attacking someone is to make a video or make an Instagram post or make a Twitter post saying, and not just a post, I'm sorry, a video of them saying, guys, that's not cool, please don't do that. After that, it's not in their control, and they should not be blamed for it.
Yeah, in these situations, they need to engage their audience and tell them what exactly they created this community for.
Yeah, and say, guys, that's not what we're here for. One, you don't know all the facts or whatever. Two, that's just not cool. Like, there are certain scenarios, I would say, that are 100% the person's fault. In Keemstar's situation, that was his fault. He falsely accused someone. But if it's just like a group of people attacking a smaller content creator, usually that's what it is a smaller content creator, they're not, and they tell them to attack them, it is their fault. But if the group just does it on their own, I don't know, like, it's not really their decisions to do that. They shouldn't be held accountable, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, the individual audience members should be accountable for what they did, not the content creator.
Yeah.
It's not their fault that all this happened.
Well, it's like, what do you want them to do about it? Like, totally honestly, they can't do anything about it.
This came out of this question came out of the whole. Yeah, this question came out of the whole H3H3 thing. There was also in the Philly D show where, at one point in time when he was talking about it, he was talking about how this, his audience.
Wait, who are we
from
talking about?
H3H3 Productions were attacking another creator essentially, and it was over a joke. And I don't think at any time did he say, oh, I'm 100% right, all of you go. And people are essentially blaming him for what his audience is doing when he may have no control over it. They sadly create these armies and then have literally nothing to do with them other than that, unless they unleash them on somebody.
And a lot of the times, the audience is 100% blind, like that Daddy 05 Philip DeFranco thing going on. That was a year ago or so.
Yeah, and they were like threatening Philip DeFranco.
Yeah, and it's like,
and his family.
Are you kidding me? Like,
I mean, in that situation, you just have to wonder, like, how the fuck did you guys not see that these people were essentially attacking their fucking children?
And in that scenario, it was Philip DeFranco not saying let's attack this person, but saying, hey, you can't do that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he was judging them. He was giving his opinion on the situation and what had happened. And at one point in time, I do believe that he asked his followers to go back and essentially like take their videos and make a backlog just in case somebody needed them, which in the end they did, because I believe like prosecution needed them.
But never once was he saying, let's destroy these people.
Yeah, he never said like, let's get them death threats and all sorts of shit. Death threats are just outrageous these days. Everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna come to your house and fucking kill you. Why do you immediately go there? Why is that the only way that you can get your point across? I don't understand that.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. And I apologize to everyone if my volume keeps changing. I'm still like trying to figure out how to sit with this new chair I just got. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, you got one of them top of the line racing chairs?
Yeah, I just don't know
some super comfy chairs.
How to sit with it right now. So
how would you say your butt feels right now? Is it on cloud 9? Or is it like maybe on cloud 6?
Definitely on cloud 9.
7? On cloud 9? Cloud 9? Oh, I've never understood that saying. Is it out of 10 or is there just 9?
It's a good question. It's a good question, but yeah, I want to apologize just right now because it could. I'm looking at my levels and it's changing because I'm still trying to figure out how to sit in this damn chair.
I just imagine you like moving your head back and forth, like bobbing it, trying to see while talking. You're like, is it here? Is it here? Is it here?
It's kind of like I'm pushing my chair all the way in and sitting. It's like, oh, that's not going to be comfortable for an hour. And then I pull like far out and I like lean forward. I'm like, that's not going to be comfortable for an hour. So it's like trying to find a sweet medium.
It sounds like this chair is much for a Cloud 6 chair.
No.
Than a Cloud 9 chair. You've definitely said uncomfortable several times. I think we need to have our audience bomb this Amazon page. Just go there and shit all over them. Give them millions of bad reviews.
Yeah, don't do that. Actually, don't. No, it's just with my old chair, it was I'm gonna be uncomfortable no matter what, so it doesn't matter how I'm sitting. But with this chair,
it was like, literally like a dining room chair with the consistency of those like fucking plushy toilet seats that make you feel like you're consistently sitting on like a donut.
Yeah, it was not great, but now it's like I have a nice chair and I just can't figure out how to sit. So
now you just got this debacle.
No, it's a big debacle and I need to figure it out because this audio is going to be jumping.
All right.
But I have a pretty monotone voice, so
yeah, I think you'll be good. It's not gonna be a big deal. You don't yell like I do.
Yeah, you fucking yell, dude. It's crazy.
I do. I yell all the time. I'm pretty ridiculous. So I'm gonna take you on a little journey here.
Can't wait.
I'm gonna explain a story, and I want you to give me your 100% unadulterated feelings, thoughts, ideas.
Okay.
I don't know, brain farts, whatever you might call them. So let's say you're chilling in your house. Currently, I'm not going to disclose whether or not anyone owns weapons or not, but let's just say there happens to be a weapon. People infiltrate your house. You defend yourself with said people. It's possible these people die.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, sadly, a lot of these topics came from the Philip DeFranco show today.
That's because we watch that show every single day.
It's a great show.
It's awesome. Hey guys, go bombard Philip DeFranco's and tell him that we sent you.
Tell him that we're amazing.
Yeah,
that's about it. That we essentially just copied him in a long form and during our podcast.
Well, hey, he always says, "I want to know what you guys think." Well, here's your chance, Phil. You got an hour of us.
You got an hour of us covering the same topics that you covered.
Yeah, pretty much.
But let's say you gun down these people, you defend yourself, these people possibly die.
You gun down these people.
I don't know if you fucking have a gun. I don't know what's happening. In this situation, it was a screwdriver. A man brought the screwdriver in, tried to like burgle this person's home. This man then defended his house and ended up essentially killing the burglar.
Let's also
from what I
disclose that this man, this attacker, this burglar,
was like 76
was like
years old.
76, yeah. An old man.
Yeah, he was an older guy.
Not like a 40-year-old dude that hits the gym every day. This is just an older dude that's just chilling at home with his older wife, and they're just trying to sleep. I'm assuming it's sleep. I don't really know.
I don't know why you burgle during the daytime. That sounds like a stupid ass idea.
Yeah, but that was just an assumption.
I would assume it's nighttime. Yeah, but should you be at all like persecuted by the law? Should somebody essentially charge you with murder while just defending yourself? Now, I mean, obviously it's self-defense, but where should the line be drawn between self-defense and murder when it comes to your property?
Well, here's the thing. I remember the story. I don't remember where it happened, if it was the U.S. or not. I'm assuming it is, but that's also
I'm pretty sure it was.
Terrible assumption because there's a lot of people, or there's a lot more people out there.
There's like 7 billion people on Earth.
Than there are in the
And I think
US.
there's only like 3 million in the United States or something.
Million.
Is it? Oh yeah, 3 million is way.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to get at.
But how do I feel about this? I feel like that he literally did nothing wrong.
Well, let me give you a little comparison here. I'm definitely not going against your point. He did nothing wrong. But remember last year when Pokemon Go came out, and there are certain states where if you, like, I think it was in Texas, if you cross a fence over a certain height, essentially it's legal for these homeowners to kill you. From what I understand. This is just secondhand knowledge. I'm not saying I'm an expert.
Well, that's some horse
but
shit.
Supposedly, it's legal for them to kill you. And this is a big issue while people are playing Pokemon Go, because from what I understand, I believe there was a story about a homeowner shooting somebody playing Pokemon Go in their yard in one of these states.
Okay, guys, let's get this out of the way first. Let's not go into other people's like backyards.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid. It's Pokemon Go. Leave it alone.
Let's not do some stupid stuff while playing Pokemon Go. So let's get that out of the way first. The second, no, I do not think you should be able to shoot someone that's on your lawn. Unless
Once
they have a
enter
gun
the
as
premises? Well. Okay, so the big line drawn is whether or not they have actually like crossed the threshold of your house, of your home.
I would say so. Now people will say, oh, whatever. No, there's no reason to kill someone that's not in your house yet. Unless they have a rocket launcher, then go for it. But
I mean, unless they're essentially trying to attack you.
unless they are full frontal assaulting your house with a gun, then I do not believe you should be able to just shoot someone that's in your backyard. Detain them? Yeah, why not? Till the cops get there. Unless I mean, when I say that, I mean like if they're like drunkenly in your backyard or something. Not just someone playing Pokemon Go. Again, if you're playing Pokemon Go, let's not go in people's backyards.
I mean, this is kind of weird that this is such a debated topic, whether or not you should be like held accountable for defending yourself. Because I remember there was also another story of a guy who I think tried to rob a subway, and a pedestrian like basically just defended this subway and ended up getting stabbed. But he also, I think he killed the assailant essentially.
I don't remember if he killed him or what happened, but he definitely hurt the guy.
Yeah, he hurt him quite badly. I think he was stabbed like 9 times in the end. Yeah. And the guy like that was defending this subway got stabbed like in the neck, which is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I believe he ended up living, but I mean, this is another scenario where at that time there were some people who were going after this guy for doing this. And it's like,
for defending the subway, you're saying?
Yeah, they were going after him for defending, as far as he knows, the lives of everyone else that's in here.
Yeah, here's the thing that I hate about these type of scenarios, and believe me, I wish they never happened. I don't like it when other people are trying to, essentially play hero.
Yeah, I think they call it white knighting.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't really know. That might be
what?
a fucked up term to use. That's what I've heard people call it.
If you're a police officer and you're just having your lunch at Subway, then yes, do your thing. But if you're just someone having lunch at Subway and someone comes in and is trying to rob the place, you know what? I'm going to guess, and I don't know if this is fact, but I'm going to guess 9 out of 10 times he's just there for the money.
Yeah.
He's not
But
there
if they showed, like, intent on killing people, if they were there to kill people, is it your responsibility? Should you do something about it?
It's no one's responsibility. But if they're there, like, as a hostage scenario, again, unless you are a cop and I don't like it when someone armed defends a place, because it's like, one, you don't have that kind of training, Odds are, unless you're a cop or ex-military, you don't really have the training to, keep your eye on the prize, I guess is what I'm saying, because there could be a lot more casualties if you just start shooting at someone and they start shooting back. Then, rather than if this was just, I'm guessing you're not going into a Subway for a hostage scenario. They're just there to make the couple $100 that are in the cash register and leave.
Yeah.
You could possibly be escalating this to heights that it never was supposed to reach.
Yeah, you could be the one, like, putting lives in danger.
Yes. Now, if you're a cop, I mean, hopefully, again, I don't know, you should hopefully have the training to be able to assess that situation and decide if it's worth it to draw your weapon. But I don't know, I'm not a cop, but, I just don't like it when people try to play hero, because I bet it probably doesn't end out great a lot of the times. Someone else is going to get hurt, and all this person was doing was stealing a couple $100 from a cash register. That's my thought on that.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I mean, obviously these three scenarios are quite different in the way that they are, but
in the way
overall,
they
I
should be
think
handled,
I think we pretty much agree that, like, I mean, with the exception of the Pokemon Go reference, that these people should not be persecuted. I think.
Now here's the thing. Here's how we think about it. Someone comes into your home. Well, I now have the home field advantage, so good luck. But, do what you need.
You're Wolverinesing them? You're like using guerrilla tactics?
Do what you need to make sure they do not hurt your family. Okay? Now, if they're on your lawn, depending, and I don't know if you're really capable of doing this, do they have a gun? Are they shooting at your house? What are they doing outside of your house? That could change a lot of things. But if it doesn't at first seem like they are there to cause harm, then you should not be able to kill them.
Yeah. Just because somebody is there doesn't mean that they've, like, forfeited their life.
Yes. Now, did they mess up and wander into a wrong yard? Possibly. Are they drunk? Possibly. They playing Pokemon Go? Possibly. So there's a lot of different scenarios that could happen.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. So to move on to a lighter topic, since we had several kind of weird topics, move on to a lighter topic. I want to talk about the surge of Battle Royale games.
Ooh, yeah.
So this is obviously a podcast strictly about Finding Nemo, but we're gonna go off into the distance and we're gonna talk about some PUBG, some Fortnite, whatever.
We're gonna diverge.
What do you think? Yeah, I know. I mean, normally all Finding Nemo, but not today. How? So we spoke about this a little bit in our last episode about everything that was happening with, like, the Fortnite disturbance, essentially, like teachers hitting up Epic and being like, dude, your game's kind of fucking up my classroom, kind of a thing. I just want to know, this has zero ethical value or anything like that. I just want to know how you feel about the surge of Battle Royale games, and if you think less is more, or just whoever puts one out puts ones out. And I guess this is just in the game space entirely. Because
here's how I think
about
it. I can tell you this right now.
Okay, yeah, you've already
Competition breeds excellence.
Yeah.
We would not have Fortnite if we did not have PUBG. You know? It just wouldn't be a thing. Well, we would have Fortnite, but no one would be playing it, and it'd be the save the world. So, there's that. There would be no Fortnite without PUBG.
I mean, also, you could say that there wouldn't be any PUBG without like H1Z1.
Yeah.
And Arma.
So, here's the thing. We started out with the real shitty DayZ mod from Arma that, like, bred H1Z1 or whatever, that turned into an actual decent game in PUBG, that turned into, a lot of people would say, a better game in Fortnite. So, you know what? If the next, Treyarch or Activision or whoever's this year's Call of Duty, Sledgehammer or whatever, if they come out with Black Ops 4 with a battle, but how they have the game list, like Search and Destroy, Team Deathmatch, Battle Royale. You know?
Yeah.
It's probably, and people might get mad at me, it's probably going to be way better than PUBG. It's probably going to be on par with Fortnite. Obviously different, like, strategies, because Fortnite is a lot of building and stuff like that, and PUBG is just a lot of game, like gun-on-gun action, car-on-gun, you know? Now, if they...
Yeah, one is more about, like, in a way, resource management, and the other one is more about building.
Yeah.
Strategically building. That game's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now, if Call of Duty came out with a Battle Royale mode, yeah, I can bet you, I can almost promise you it's going to be better than PUBG. Because they have more resources, because they typically have more polished games come out. Say what you will about Call of Duty, but those things play like a Ferrari, you know? They've been making these games for like 20 years. They know how to make these games. Then
yeah, they know how to make games overall.
Yeah, the games they play phenomenally. The games themselves kind of suck, but they move flawlessly. Now, if DICE comes out, you know, Battlefield, and they make a Battle Royale, it's gonna be over. You know?
That'd be a great game.
It would be a great game. There would be Fortnite and Battlefield. Just Battlefield. You know?
So the way you feel about the flood of Battle Royale games coming out, just like the flood of RPG and the flood of open world, is not that it's a detriment, but that it's a positive, that it's essentially going to force the games industry to evolve and create better products.
Yeah, like we would not have the 2018 Mustang if we didn't have the 2017 Mustang. We wouldn't have the 2018 Corvette if we didn't have the 2017 Corvette. And you know what? Odds are there's something a little bit better in the 2018 than there was in the 2017. That's just... You know, the more that stuff come out, except for Call of Duty, the better they are.
Yeah. The reason it seems like all this is like coming out is because Cliff Basinski, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Basically one of the creators on Lawbreakers, or a large
he was like
proponent of it.
The Lawbreaker.
Yeah, he and his team made Radical Heights, and it's this just went to early access like this week. It's a big deal.
Does not look great.
But it's
I'll
also
tell you that.
It's in early access.
Now,
it's definitely in early access.
I want to tell you, I saw this really funny tweet that said, "What are you guys talking about? Cliffy B did make a Battle Royale game. It was Lawbreakers. It started with 100 players, and eventually there was just one."
That's fucked up.
He actually retweeted it and was like, fair enough.
That's good. That's so good.
Yeah,
That's so fucked up.
It was
oh my
really
God.
funny, though.
That's like a punch in the dick.
It is.
But I guess they did all of this. They're making Radical Heights supposedly to make money to fund Lawbreakers. They aren't just giving up on it.
And you know what? Lawbreakers looks really cool.
I mean, the funny thing about this is that like everyone's comparing it to how Epic is making Fortnite and making a bunch of money on it, and they just gave up on Paragon. They're not using the money that they made from Fortnite to make Paragon better, like Cliff Basinski and these guys are with Radical Heights. They're gonna like make money from Radical Heights and make Lawbreakers what they wanted it to. Everyone's just like, well, fuck you, Epic. You just fucking gave up on Paragon.
Paragon was one of my favorite games of the last 3 years. It's
been a very consistent topic on this podcast.
It's fun, but and here's how I feel about Battle Royale games. I think the concept is awesome. I really do. I think it's really a cool concept. I've played PUBG a few times, and when I say a few times, I literally mean a few times, because here's what I like about video games. I like, multiplayer aspects, hanging out with my friends, playing with my friends, but I also really do enjoy the the RPG aspects of games, where it's my character will never be worse. Or how am I trying to say this? My character can only get better.
It'll never be worse than when you first started the game. You don't like to replay over and over again?
Yeah, and I guess the way I'm talking about it is, if I play an hour today, my character will be better than he was an hour before I started playing.
Yeah, I think that somebody could be like, oh, well, you loved Paragon. That's a MOBA. You had to do it over and over again. But even in Paragon, not only did you as a player gained experience by playing with these characters, you also had like an entire card deck that made it completely different, and you got new cards.
And you'd get new cards, and you'd be able to stack the cards differently to make them better. And this is literally, you fly in with nothing and you find better stuff. Now I see the appeal of that, and I thought in my brain, I was like, I cannot wait to play this. But when I played it, I was like, man, I really wish my guy was better than he is right now.
Yeah, but you wish you had those RPG elements that make it essentially ridiculous. Like you just have to outlevel everything.
It doesn't work with the Battlegrounds type of gameplay. It doesn't.
Battle Royale?
Yeah, Battle Royale, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't be fun for the people just starting the game, because it'd be like, oh, they spawn with better weapons, it doesn't work for it.
Yeah, I guess, I haven't tried it myself, but I guess Rockstar has put like a Battle Royale-esque mode in GTA 5.
Yeah, and I've heard about it too. And I've kind of thought to myself,
nobody's losing their shit over it.
I've kind of thought to myself, well, that was kind of just what Team Deathmatch was in general, because you didn't spawn with weapons. Yeah, you just went in and
tried to kill everybody else anyway.
But you would spawn with weapons, but everyone would spawn with the same weapons or something to that effect, and you could pick up different guns on the ground, the same concept, but I think they just made it a little bit bigger,
Yeah, it's on a much smaller scale in these games.
Yeah. But so I've kind of just decided for myself, they're fun to play. I'll play a match or two, but after that, it's man, I want to go play NBA 2K where my guy's going to get better, or I want to go play Far Cry 5 because my guy's going to get better. I want to play Elder Scrolls Online because I have progress. I guess and I'm surprised that myself isn't like this, because I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, but winning is not enough for me. Winning the match is not enough anymore. It used to be when I played a lot of Call of Duty, it was like, yes, we won that match. How the thrill of winning the Fortnite, getting first place, that's such a big thrill for people. And it is a big... It
was intense. Got my first chicken dinner. Went and got some chicken dinner. It was good.
It is a big deal, and it is a lot of fun or whatever, but it's just not enough to keep me interested, Which, now that
Yeah.
you say something about Paragon, it does kind of almost fit in that same category. It really does. So I don't know what the difference is. That's interesting.
I would say the big difference between Paragon and it is and like Fortnite is both give the player more experience and you get better at it. But the thing that Paragon had was the card system. It's something that you take from game to game and you make your own deck. Like, you make it a certain way so you know how you're going to play with it.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the big difference in why you loved Paragon so much, but why you don't like Battle Royale. Plus, you're a huge fan of, like, leaderboards and shit. You're, like, a big fan of damage statistics and all sorts of stuff. You like to see the numbers where, I mean, in Fortnite, you do see your damage numbers, but it doesn't, like...
Stack up.
You kill somebody, it doesn't matter. At the end of the match, you can see how much damage you did and how much damage
That's
you took
cool.
and all sorts of stuff, but it's not the same,
Oh.
essentially.
See, and I've been
Is-
playing
is
Elder
what-
Scrolls Online, and I really just like dungeon crawling. It's a lot of fun, you know, just getting in a group of people, and I usually play healer. It's like, man, I wish I could see if I'm just doing horse shit garbage compared to these guys. And damage-wise, I get I'm a healer, but I would still like to see, you know?
Yeah, that was one of your favorite things in DCUO, is going to the end and seeing like, oh my god, I'm a troll. I just give people power, but for some reason I've done almost the exact, like almost more damage than our main DPS.
Yeah, and...
You're like, holy shit, that guy sucks.
Or it wasn't that guy sucks, it was just
Or
like,
is that
I
you're
know what
just
I'm doing.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was... And see, that's one thing I love, and it's like... And if you go into ESO or something like that, and you go in and you say, oh man, I wish I could somehow figure out if this is statistically better than my last, like, you know, loadout, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, make it a little bit easier. I mean, because especially in like ESO, you see your damage statistics. You see that one does 5 damage, one does 10 damage, but also one does 5 the one who does 5 damage also has a bleed that over time can affect it, but yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, in I used to run DCUO, just literally just running the same raid with the same group of people, so it was like, okay, everyone just keep doing the same thing, and we can just see what's working best for us. Like, it was like,
Yeah.
it was like, I'm the, and it was super fun, because it was like, I'm the number one healer in the league. So when we do raid nights, I'm the number one go-to. But if we do raid nights and our number 2 DPS isn't here, I can do that. And then our second healer can come in and do that, you know? Just because we ran the raid so many times, we could say, okay, well, I may be the number 1 healer, but I'm also the number 4 DPS or something like that. So it was just a lot of fun. Man, I missed that game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sad that like these communities are kind of falling. Like with the shutdown of Star Wars Galaxy a while ago, the shutdown of Paragon. I mean, obviously DCO hasn't gone away, but its community has dwindled.
Well,
or at least
talked
its
about
hardcore player base.
We've talked about it ad nauseum on this podcast about they just alienate their primary base of players.
Yeah.
Just to try to make it more mainstream or easier to get into. We've been playing this game for 5 years. It's not easy. We understand that. But now you make it easy and it's just no fun, you know?
Yeah. I mean, here's a not so elegant segue into my next topic, because I really just wasn't paying attention to when it'd be a good idea. Because I brought up GTA 5 specifically to do it, and then I was like, man, I totally glanced over that. So GTA 5, huge record setting right now. It's made, from what I understand, it's made fucking waves because it's the highest grossing
Media.
media
Of all
time.
That's
yeah, going over
any
Star Wars.
media.
Anything. It's made so much money.
Which that doesn't
And
make sense to me
there's-
for Star Wars. Star Wars is...
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, how
You'd-
the fuck has Star Wars not made more money?
You
than
would
it?
have to sell like 3, and you think about the Marvel universe, that shit's probably at least made, you know, I want to
Yeah,
say
with comics, movies, and merch,
over
you'd
like
think
$12
that. I mean,
billion. I want to say it's probably.
I'm
somewhere
assuming
around there.
the only thing that they include is just that one thing.
Oh,
so it's like the
Age of
Avengers
Ultron or
movie.
whatever.
Yeah, because GTA 5, like, it makes money off of all the things that are it.
That's
like
true.
that's what you do with it. But the reason I wanted to bring up GTA 5 breaking all these records and everything is that Red Dead 2, it's coming out later this year. It's coming out, and people
Can't
are
wait.
freaking the fuck out. Yeah, I know. I'm really excited too. Honestly, I have this idea that I think would be so funny, but it would ultimately be the worst. Because this isn't the topic, but
For like a
just-
video
I wanna
or
talk
what?
about it. No, this isn't anything. It's just something that I think is really funny. I have like this weird scenario in my head where it turns out, and it's not gonna happen, absolutely not. But turns out everybody moved away from like the November release date because Red Dead is gonna release then, and then fucking Red Dead bombs. It does so bad, and there's no fucking games to play. And then there's like one just indie game that came out, just one shitty game that's actually like, I mean not shitty
Really
game,
fun.
but one game that nobody fucking knows about, and it's fun and it makes so much money. Like, that's just a weird scenario I have in my head, but it's never gonna
They're
happen
like,
because
"We
Red Dead's gonna
bet
sell.
against Red Dead.
Yeah, right? You kind of know that there is somebody that's like, I bet I can beat him, but you're just like, you can't.
There's literally
Don't.
no way.
Yeah, but speaking of beating, Red Dead and GTA 5. GTA 5 has this, it's huge, it's massive, it's made so much money, and it has essentially something for everybody.
It's pretty unique.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's unique. It has something for everybody. It's
Well, I guess
very
it's technically
accessible.
not unique. There's been 4 others.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's very accessible versus Red Dead being a Western. Some people don't like Westerns.
Some
but
people can
playing
suck
in,
off.
in the modern day. Yeah, exactly. Westerns are fucking sweet. Lonesome Dove, fuck yeah, amazing.
Have you watched
I love
Westworld yet?
Westerns. I've watched a bit of season 1. I haven't watched all the way through it, but I'm honestly surprised like that I haven't watched more because I would normally binge it because sci-fi and Westerns, that's my shit.
It's awesome.
That's
I really enjoyed
exactly
it.
what I want. I need to watch more. But
And Krypton, dude.
there's a
Shout out to Krypton.
yeah. Oh my fucking god! I just want to watch Krypton.
Next
Got
week.
my
dude.
internet hooked up today, hinting that obviously because we're doing the podcast. But
Yeah, last
it
week we
was
didn't do it
annoying as
because he moved. Just,
Yeah, I didn't have
Just so
internet.
everyone knows.
Videos coming soon. I have not posted
Wow.
videos because I wanted to wait until I moved in. Now I have. Yeah, videos coming soon. But what I wanted to talk about was if you think Red Dead 2 can hold a candle to the success of GTA 5. There are people who think it cannot because it's not as accessible. Everybody essentially knows what Grand Theft Auto is, but not everybody knows what Red Dead is.
Are we talking hold a candle in sales or just how great the game is?
I would say sales-wise and notoriety. So, just sales and notoriety. I don't think it's going to outsell
There's
GTA
no way in
5,
hell.
especially at this point. It's just impossible.
GTA 5 spans 2 different console generations.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Fucking Red Dead 2 might too.
Oh, you're true. You're true. You're right.
Supposedly. Yeah, you know, fucking PS5 might come out soon. Whatever.
Doubt it. 2020.
That's a thing. I think 2019, but let's not get into that. But just let's say in like notoriety's sake, do you think that it's going to become like a huge part of mainstream culture like GTA 5 has?
If I'm lying,
or is
I'm
it
dying. I
just
think-
going to be amazing?
I think comparatively, GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption, I think Red Dead Redemption was a bigger success.
Oh yeah, it was so much better.
Well then I think that yes, I think it would be able to hold a candle to it. I do not think the sales are going to be there though. You're
Yeah,
talking
I mean, the sales
notoriety.
aren't-
Yes, I think it will. I think it will be on the same scale as GTA 5, maybe more.
Do you think this will like get? Here's my big issue: is GTA 5 is obviously the fifth, It not including like Chinatown Wars and stuff like that.
Like the
it
phone
has had
games?
several. Yeah, it's had several iterations to gain all this traction so people know what it is. It's had huge controversies with people thinking like, oh, you shoot a girl in the game, you really want to kill a girl. We're not going to get into video game violence because it's fucking stupid. But it's had all this time to gain traction, whereas Red Dead like had Red Dead Revolver, and then you've got essentially like Red Dead Redemption, which blew people out of the water. But not everybody knows about it.
I
you
think
can't
you're
just
wrong,
go and ask
dude.
somebody on the street.
I think people know about
I
it.
100% know you can't just go ask anybody.
Well, I'm
like,
not talking
if
about
they know Red Dead.
anybody.
But if you asked anybody about Grand Theft Auto, absolutely.
Well, I think they know
what it
Grand
is.
Theft Auto because they're like, oh yeah, my kid killed a hooker with a dildo in that game. Yeah, I think they know that game because it's so off
Yeah,
the
exactly.
wall.
Do you think Red Dead will ever get to that point?
No, because I don't think Red
Where
Dead's
everyone
off the wall.
knows. Yeah,
I think it's
more
very
of like
grounded.
a realistic.
Well,
It's grounded. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. A grounded version.
I think so.
So it's never going to reach the heights of Grand Theft Auto just because
But we say-
it's not
we-
like wacky.
We say the heights of Grand Theft Auto, but I think that's a lot of deterrence to it. That people know it because, yeah, you go and you kill a hooker with a helicopter. I think that a lot of people would say, yeah, that's not a great thing. So, I think Grand Theft Auto 5, to the average person, is more infamous than famous, you know?
Yeah, but Red Dead has the possibility to be famous.
Yes. Because it's not
Because
off the
it's like the
wall.
underdog in this situation.
I wouldn't say the underdog, but it's not like crazy, you know? Now,
Yeah.
Now, are we gonna get just like your average Joe Schmo coming and playing Red Dead? Probably not, because it's kind of a complex game with a lot of complex things to it. You know?
Yeah,
But
it's not going to be the same as Grand Theft Auto 5.
no, I don't think it's gonna be the same as something like Mario Odyssey, where, oh man, I played Mario back in the day. I think I could pick this up and play it, and you can. This isn't like, oh, I played Galaga back in the day. I think I could pick up Red Dead Redemption and play it. No, you can't. Well, you could.
Galaga's so good.
You could.
Fuck
You-
Space Invaders.
You could probably learn how to play it, but I don't think it's just like that kind of pick up and play.
I mean, you mentioned Mario Odyssey. Has absolutely nothing to do with the topic, but this is just kind of to allude to a video I'm going to make. Fuck Mario, dude.
Yeah, I don't like Mario. either.
Mario's a little piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
I have this theory that I'm going to make a video on, that Mario is essentially a piece of shit and overall is actually like essentially a tyrannical ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom, and all of the
Jesus.
games are propaganda. Yeah, that's my theory. I'm going to make a whole video on it, and it's intense. But dude, he's a piece of shit and everybody loves Mario. Luigi is so underrated. Toad is so underrated. Fucking Yoshi gets just ditched into fucking pits, and everybody's just like, fucking Mario, he's so cool. I'm like, go fuck yourself, Mario. Eat a fucking dick.
I'm not a
you
Mario.
fat ass little
I'm not a
plumber.
Mario fan solely based on the fact that I just don't like the Mario games. Like I said, I'm big into the RPG elements. I don't think that you get that in a lot of the Marios. Sure, you can get cool skins and stuff, but
I'm a huge fan of fucking platformers, and I still think Mario can eat my fucking ass.
see, I'd be a huge fan of platformers if it was kind of like I think Bastion was kind of like this. Can't you get like new guns and stuff?
Yeah, Bastion, you can upgrade them.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a platformer. It's more
Well,
of like an arcadey shooter,
I'm
but
talking
Bastion's
about,
a great game.
just like
Love
a
Bastion.
not Witcher.
You should keep an eye out for Chasm. It finally got a release date coming out this summer. It's got like subtle RPG elements, but it's also a platforming like dungeon Metroidvania, which is just too many words to describe something. I'm so excited for Chasm. I've been waiting like 5 fucking years for this goddamn game. This is gonna be another Destiny scenario though, where it's gonna come out and I'm just gonna shit my pants because it's not as good.
Oh, you mean No Man's
But
Sky?
it probably will be as good. Okay, let's get this out in the open right now. The only reason No Man's Sky was so bad is because people had too high of expectations for it. I literally, during the launch of No Man's Sky, I was telling people, hey dude, this game does not have multiplayer, for the most part. Me and you actually had a conversation about it. And we were like, what you want in multiplayer is not going to be this game. I literally tried to deter people. They still bought it, and then they tried to return it. And they're like, I'm extremely dissatisfied. Cool, I fucking told you. I told you weren't going to be like, this wasn't going to be the most amazing game you've ever fucking played. And I went in with fucking modest expectations, and I think that game's great, especially with all the additional, like, fucking patches they've done. The Atlas Rising update was fucking amazing. And another little tidbit of news that already came out like 3 weeks ago, it's coming to the Xbox One this summer. But I'm excited to see where No Man's Sky goes. From what I understand, what happened with Hello Games was they wanted to make this really, really ambitious game. They're running out of money. Yeah, they didn't have the money for it, so they released it. They deceived people and they released it.
And they were going to use the money.
They used that money
to make it better,
to make the game they wanted. Which, if you go back and play it now, it's so fucking good. It's so much better. The ship combat is better. There's actually base building. Everything in the world makes way more sense.
When that game,
it's not just like this fucking annoying ass economy system.
When that game first got announced, and they were talking about it, and everyone was hyping it up and stuff, I was sitting there like, that sounds too good to be true.
Yeah. So in theory,
I'm gonna say that this is
amazing.
Not going to be great, but
in practice, it wasn't as good as it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But like I said, go into games with realistic fucking expectations. God, everyone acted like this was going to be the fucking end-all be-all of games, and then we're all butthurt when it wasn't. And it's like, oh, no fucking way.
Yep, no need for video games now. We have No Man's Sky.
That annoyed me so much. That was a little rant about that. I'm probably going to do a full video about that when I talk about like GameStop horror stories, essentially, because I did work for GameStop for 2.5 years.
Ooh, that could get us some clickbaity stuff there, buddy.
Fucking No Man's Sky. It's not going to be clickbait. It's not going to be clickbait, because I'm actually going to make a video about it. No, I'm not going to... I hate clickbait
but
so
you got to
title...
you got to title it something like my
GameStop employee stabs people.
No. Something. Don't totally throw them off. Say something like my true experience about working at GameStop. You know, those always get a lot of views.
You know what I fucking hate? The videos that come out that are like 10 things GameStop doesn't want you to know. And it's like, hey, guess what? They don't give a fuck if you know. They literally have a poster with something that you said they don't want you to know plastered on their fucking wall.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
But
if you
know
know
that like you say something like, if you title it something like, ooh, horror stories from working at GameStop, ooh, that's a good title right there.
Yeah, people fucking eat that shit up.
Exactly.
Expect that video to come soon.
No, don't expect anything from us.
That's fair. Other than this podcast every Monday. What's up, guys?
Except
fucking SoundCloud. Fanboy Talks on YouTube, except when I move. Yeah.
Shit, I don't think we introduced ourselves.
You don't think what?
I don't think I introduced us. My name is Chase, and that's Vaughn. So, an hour.
Yeah, if you hadn't watched the other 8 episodes
you never know.
Put out.
We could put a clickbait title on this, and people could watch it.
There's literally an episode titled "Clickbait Title." Fucking click on it and listen to it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's it for me today. You got everything from me. You milked me.
I think I milked myself today, if I'm being totally honest. I think I talked a lot.
Yeah, you milked yourself.
And like a cat.
This is the exact term we need to use.
Chase milks himself? ? Ooh.
Fucking title right there. This is gonna be like when I put ass in the title. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I hope my audio is not as jumpy as I think it's gonna be, but we'll cross that bridge when it's on fire.
That's 100% the saying. You got that 100% correct.
Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us, and have a great day.
Thanks.